thepascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up, everybody? We have a major update in the Sudiksha Konanki case out there in the Dominican Republic. We have this college student that went out with a bunch of friends with another man there, went out to the beach out by this resort and was never heard from or seen from again. And now we are getting some new updates here that is absolutely crazy. I knew this was going to happen. I'm just going to be completely real with you. But now the last person to see her alive has now been indeed named a person of interest. Now, let me tell you something. This particular guy, Joshua Riibe, hopefully I'm saying his last name correctly, but Joshua Riibe is the person that was walking down with her, was seen in surveillance cameras on the resort, walking with her and her friends to the beach early in the morning or late that night, okay, the night of her disappearance or the morning of her disappearance as well. He was with her when they allegedly went into the water, into the ocean. He says he got hit by a massive wave, or they both got hit by a massive wave. I guess he's not that strong of a swimmer, but by the time he got to shore, he went to kind of like this lawn chair, okay, and or lounge chair by the beach, and basically passed out. He woke up and Konanki is nowhere to be found. Now, from what we're understanding, his story has changed many, many times with police. He is a person of interest now. He has been named a person of interest. And of course, let's be real, this was inevitable. You can't tell me that police are just going to go with that she just went out to the ocean and just disappeared and just got consumed by the waves. If that was to happen, her body would have washed up to shore by now. Let's be completely real, right? So again, this is absolutely insane, shocking information, but at the same time, not a surprise. Glad to hear that he's now a person of interest. It also shows that this investigation is still ongoing. They're not just sitting on that theory, on that hypothesis and just saying this is what it is. So I'm glad that this is going down this route. At least, make sure that you turn over every stone. Make sure you investigate and look under every single situation as best as you can, because you never know. Him being a person of interest may not be the situation, okay? And the question still remains: Did she fall? Did she go into the ocean and lose her life that way? Was she taken? Did something sinister happen between Joshua Riibe and Sudiksha? I'm wondering that as well, right? And I think that's the ongoing conversation. Was she too drunk and just got hit by waves and couldn't handle the ocean? Maybe that's that as well. We don't know entirely, but let's take a look at this. This is very, very interesting nonetheless, okay? Virginia officials have named a person of interest in the disappearance of U.S. student Sudiksha Konanki in the Dominican Republic. All right, so Konanki, she disappeared from a 5-star resort in Punta Cana on Thursday while on spring break from the University of Pittsburgh. Okay, so while the pre-med student's body has not been found, local authorities believe she succumbed to water. We got to use these code words, unfortunately. Okay, so Loudoun County Sheriff's Office has now identified 24-year-old Joshua Riibe as a person of interest, as reported by this particular news outlet. The Iowa resident, was the last person to see her alive. He was the last person to see her alive. So again, it's like authorities have to just take her word for it. And what I also find interesting is that this is Virginia officials that are looking at this and side-eyeing this situation, not the Dominican Republic, not Punta Cana law enforcement that are basically saying that he is a person of interest. It is Virginia officials that are sitting there going, yeah, maybe Dominican Republic, maybe the Punta Cana Police Department or whatever the department is called over there, maybe they believe that she succumbed to water, but they believe in America, Virginia officials are going, nah, we believe different. which is also very telling as well. Because again, I've said this before, this screams, Taylor Casey a little bit, Natalie Holloway, but what screams mostly Taylor Casey is maybe this resort is trying to sweep this under the rug, get this thing solved, get this thing figured out so that they can keep having people coming in, so that they can keep printing money and making money. That is a possibility here. Now, again, I could be wrong, but at the same time, people go down there to relax and have a great time, believe that they're in paradise and all that stuff. You go there to have a wonderful experience, not, oh, some terrible crime happened here. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to turn away potential customers from coming to the resort. That's just one thing I think, that they just kind of wrap it up and go, yeah, she succumbed to water, moving on. But again, we don't know what happened here. Yeah, she could have had a few drinks, too many drinks, and just went down under, or he did something. And again, because this guy keeps on changing his story, Joshua Riibe keeps on changing his story, that is a huge problem in my personal opinion. Okay, a massive problem. Okay, so the sheriff's office clarified this is not at this time a criminal case, which would be different. Which, of course, I understand that they don't have everything yet. They don't have everything together yet. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen very soon. All right, I believe they're going to find something. Okay, so a source close to the investigation said that Riibe, 24, a former high school wrestler, was being cooperative, quote unquote. He is still in Punta Cana, but is not currently considered a suspect by local authorities. So local authorities are saying, nah, it seems like just a bad situation where they all had a little bit too much to drink, went out into the ocean, and all bad things happened, right? All bad things met at one moment and something tragic happened. But Virginia officials think different. They're going, we are still side-eyeing the hell out of this dude. Don't care what you think, which is very interesting. Dominican authorities are currently in the possession of his passport. However, there's nothing to stop him from lawfully retrieving it and flying back to the U.S., the source explained. And I'm going to tell you this. If he was to get his passport and fly back right now, to me, I'm sorry, this is just me, but I feel like that would be sus as hell. All right? Just saying. Stay there. Do whatever you need to do to stay there as long as you can until Konanki is found, right? But for you to go and just grab your passport and fly back home, that looks suspect as hell, okay? So it'd be a very, 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 very bad idea, okay? So this, of course, is Konanki, all right? Of course, this is Riibe, Joshua Riibe, the person of interest. Now what Virginia officials are saying is a person of interest. Again, doesn't mean that he's going to get locked up or anything, but they're definitely going to be asking him questions if and when the time comes, okay? But again, like I said, local PD is saying, oh, the ocean took her. I beg to differ. I really, really beg to differ. But again, this is going to be very, very interesting as this investigation continues to trudge forward. But the fact that this guy was the only person in there, he doesn't remember anything, really. I mean, he remembers rough waters, let's just say that. And then he passes out, which, again, I get it. If you see I get it to a certain extent. You see the footage, the security cam footage. You could tell they're both very, very drunk. But are you so drunk that you're not worrying about the livelihood of the friend that you just met that is in the ocean with you as well? It just seems a bit weird. He climbs out to the shore and just passes out. So he has enough energy to walk over to a lounge chair, one of those loungy chairs on the beach, and pass out on one of those lounge chairs. But he doesn't have enough energy to turn around and look for Konanki. I'm just saying it just doesn't make any sense to me, guys. It just doesn't. Now, it is possible to be blackout drunk and not think about things. That is possible. But at the same time, something about this just seems a bit strange. Okay. But it says it's believed that the investigators also have the American man, Joshua Ribe's phone, but are waiting for legal authorization to examine the device. Okay. And of course, again, that could explain a lot of things. The family believes that maybe she was taken. This is kind of a human teeing situation, if you get what I'm saying. But like I said, every option's still on the table until we get actual more facts. One thing that's very frustrating about this as well is, where's the security cam footage? You mean to tell me you don't have footage? You don't have cameras pointing out towards the beach? I'm going to keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. Where's the cam footage? Where's the security cam footage showing them walking on the beach? Like I said, all of this would be completely answered if there actually was security cam footage available for law enforcement to see. This is very sad, and I hope this is not only a huge wake-up call for all spring breakers out there. Please travel. And when when you do travel with your friends. If you're going outside of the resort, or even in the resort, okay? Even the fellas, I'm not even only saying this to the ladies, to the fellas as well. Have a buddy system. Have a system set up that is ironclad, that you know for a fact there's no person left behind, okay? Because a lot of guys are getting attacked as well. It doesn't matter. Bad things are happening. Again, this could have been a absolute tragic accident where it's just two drunk people at the wrong place at the wrong time doing something that they shouldn't have been doing during that time, or something sinister happened. But what say you guys? What are your thoughts on this? Comment down below. Hit that like button down below. Hopefully we get some more clarity, okay? More transparency with this. And if we need justice, hopefully we get justice for Konanki. But anyway, guys, hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button, and we'll be talking soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.